Hello and welcome to the Splashcast. I've got two lovely people here from George Washington High School. Could you both introduce yourselves, please?
I'm Ridenour.
And I'm Zach Groe.
All right, and I'm James Miller, the owner and operator of Swim WV. How are you all doing today?
Pretty good. Well.
Awesome. So let's talk about George Washington swimming, shall we?
Yep.
That's what we came here to do. So what are we thinking about? We've got championships and regionals and states are coming up. What do we got going on?
Kind of just trying to figure everything out, really. I mean, we got a decent amount of boys on the team this year, more than we usually do, which is nice. Kind of just trying to figure out relays, kind of playing around with those, seeing what's going to fit best for us to score some points and hopefully win some meets, but training and other things like that. But
awesome. Now, are we now last year and the year before and all that, George Washington's finished pretty high. This year, I think you guys have a lot of new swimmers, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So what are we telling the new swimmers now? Because you don't want to scare them with like George Washington tradition. Like what are we telling the new people?
Just to swim their best and do their thing. We put a lot of faith in them, and hopefully they can help us out.
Now, are you all both club swimmers for life? Are we both club swimmers for life?
We both did club. He's still doing club. I'm not currently in club right now. I took a break this year.
Your break? You're like, no, I don't want to swim 7 hours a day. So let's talk about what do we like. What are the things that we like about high school swimming that we don't get in club swimming, or vice versa?
Just the atmosphere. It's much more lively to me. It's not to hate on club swimming in any regard, because I loved it. But high school just feels completely different in some aspects.
Well, and I will say, club, it's like you're swimming for yourself. Probably you pay a lot of money to be on that team. Your parents do. And then high school, there's like, an animal or you've got like a school mascot that you're swimming for, as opposed to club. Nobody cares about Club Tiger or Club Sasquatch or whatever we got going on. But nobody really cares about those. So talk about individually. What are both of you all thinking?
Like in like what we're swimming, or just like thoughts on season so far?
Thoughts on the season. You don't have to tell me. I'm not here to divulge any of the secrets here. There's no secret stealing here from everybody.
Overall, I think it's been a fairly good season. We've had a lot of our younger swimmers have kind of, gotten a little more comfortable with the high school swimming aspect of it, and are kind of starting to come into their own, get their times better, starting to really make some jumps, which is nice, and that will help us in the long run. But like individually, me, like I've been fairly happy with what I've done so far. But always can get faster, always can get better, always can train harder.
What about you?
I'm in the same boat as Zach there. My times weren't amazing at the beginning of the season, but they're slowly progressing to where I want them to become regionals and states times. We have 3 meets left to or MSACs, a conference meet, and then a regional meet to get to states. So it's time to crack down and really get the training.
Now, the reason why I was looking over here for those people that are going to be watching, if we're looking at our swim rankings that are just what I do for fun, maybe you've seen them, maybe you have not. I'm not going to share my screen, But I believe, let's see, Zach, you are 14th, and this is percentage away. It's really convoluted how I got there. I'm a math guy. And then Grant, you're 26. Does that matter to you? Do you look at like your top times? Do you never look at your times? Like talk about, do you use that as a motivation, or do you use something else maybe as a motivation?
I really wouldn't say like the ranking of where I am really matters to me, because like as of right now, what you're ranked doesn't matter what you are going into states. It's always about the time. So my personal like idea of how I feel and how I'm getting better and my motivation is always just beating my time, trying to go out there, get faster and faster, because the faster you go, the better you'll place.
Right.
You know, 26, that's, I know my capabilities. I know state's time too. I'm going to really crack down and, show what I have and, hopefully do something big for our team and, both of us, help our team out in some relays and other things like that. So yeah, the ranking doesn't mean a lot to me, but it does give me a little bit of a boost of confidence, or not confidence, but motivation.
Now, let's talk about both of you, like outside of the swim world, because hopefully people have lives. I'm noticing as I do more and more of these, the more I talk about non-swimming things, people get really scared. So hopefully you won't get scared here. But let's talk about what are you all, is there certain things hobbies, interests that you all are interested in, or that's kind of cool, or just not kind of cool, you just like it anyway? Like what are some of your interests?
Well, I used to be a pretty big runner. I enjoyed that. I had an injury last year that kind of kept me away from that for the past year or so, so that kind of sucked. But I mean, playing like pickup basketball, that kind of thing, just probably not the best thing to do during the swim season, but takes my mind away off things sometimes.
I've always had a swimmer that always like twisted their ankle playing pickup basketball. Now, do you tell your coach that like you can't kick because you have a leg injury from running?
Well, the thing about this is last year I was playing pickup basketball and broke my ankle 3 weeks before the region meet. So I probably should have learned my lesson from that, but I've been safe this year. Definitely staying away from that. Try not to repeat that because that sucked.
Oh, were you in the cast? I think I remember this. I think I remember this now.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Zach. What are something unique about your interest wise that's outside of the sport of swimming?
Well, I've always been a multi-sport athlete, so I've always, I mean, up until last year and this year, I've always played a sport every single season. But mainly I swim and do baseball. I did take a break from club swimming right around the beginning of high school for me, but I've gotten back into it because I've always loved swimming, and it's kind of like what I've focused in on now and what I want to do. So
now, talk to me about like what sort of mindsets or mentalities or strategies or things you get from other sports that you could take into swimming.
I wouldn't say many sports relate to swimming very well, just because
you can breathe.
Well, yeah, you can breathe and you're not like in water. But it's a very different team sport comparatively to other sports, because you have your individualistic like events, but then you also have relays, and then you have the point systems with all that. So like it could be, oh, well, this relay is going to win me more points, so I need to swim that. But, oh, this person's faster than me, so I'll drop off that relay and go do another relay to try to boost their points. It's more of well, this year for us, it's been a really big juggling act. Trying to figure out what relays we want to swim, what relays as a team we're best with. But overall, it's I wouldn't say I take much like inspiration from other sports when I go into swimming, just because they're so different and like so vast, like between each sport. So
Now, how would you say your community and school? How do you think they view swimming? Maybe let's just start how they view swimming, and then maybe after that, how do they? How do you think it compares to other sports, or it could be the same, it could be different?
um, I would say overall, just like as a whole, swimming really isn't seen as like one of your top tier sports in high school at all. Um, Now at GW, our swim team over the years have been very successful. Um, One of the most successful sports at our school. Now, I would say the recognition has gotten significantly better as time has went on, but I would still say like your mainstay sports like football and basketball, um, those are more popular and get a lot more spectators. Um, but I would say at GW at least, um, I've been like, I would say I'm appalled by the recognition we get because we are like the school itself is very, I wouldn't, how would I say that? There's like a lot of school pride in sports because
Sure.
we've always been good in all of them. So the recognition has been nice and it's been good. So
Now let's talk about what made you all do club team. Did you guys join for the free pizza? Did your siblings do it, or did your mom say, "I'd rather you do this than not"? What got you into the sport of swimming at all?
Well, start from the beginning. I guess mom just didn't want me to drown in a pool one day. She just kind of threw me out there, and it took off from there. I enjoyed it for over 10 years, and I still love it. Um, but I mean, going to a meet in Tennessee, there's nothing better than going out of state for a big meet and suiting up and swimming some fast times.
um, okay, go ahead.
No, I was asking why did you join? Yeah.
Well, I used to not live in West Virginia, so I did all my swimming tests and got my Red Cross certification and all that good stuff where I used to live. But then I came here and I did summer swim and kind of just fell in love with it, wanted to pursue it more. So then I got in a club and then got some good friends out of it and really enjoyed it and then just kept with it. And here I am now.
Now, where did you? If you don't mind me asking, where did you come from before the good old Charleston, West Virginia? Where did you?
I was born in Michigan, but then I used to live in northern Minnesota. It was about an hour away from the Canadian border.
Oh, so then now, how would you compare? Did you swim in Minnesota?
I did not. I was a little too small to start club. And your main sport there was hockey. So
Sure. Yeah, your main sport is when the water's frozen, as opposed to just when there's actually real water. Um, but I didn't know. Maybe you never know, because sometimes that means you have like a robust swim team. Sometimes you just never know. Now, is there any cool things that George Washington does for like just bonding things for regionals or states that you'd like to share?
I'm sure you've heard about the pasta parties we have before every meet. COVID's kind of hitting Charleston pretty hard right now, and GW overall. We had like 50 positive cases today, so those kind of got shut down. But that's usually our tradition, and I guess we'll have to come up with something kind of newer this year.
You have a virtual pasta party.
there you go.
Where everyone eats pasta on a Zoom screen. Between Charleston and East and Berkeley County, where I'm at, we're trying to have like a who can have more COVID cases race. I'm not sure who's winning, but we've been in the lead for a good while, Berkeley County here. Do you all have like like right before a race? Do you guys have like certain music that you listen to, a certain song that you listen to, or do you got like something there?
I listen to a little bit more heavy rock, kind of like Five Finger Death Punch kind of thing.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of rap, but I don't know, just something to motivate me and get me a little angry or something like that. Just get me hyped up.
I wouldn't say I had like a specific style or like a specific genre of music I listen to. I kind of just listen to music to take me away from everything, especially like at state meet, like everything's loud, everything's crazy, everyone's cheering, everyone's going wild. And it's just like a way to like take yourself away and focus on what you have to do.
So you're listening to emo songs, like you're just like listening to like sad emo songs to make
No,
sure.
I like I have same thing as him. I'll do hard rock, I'll do some rap. Maybe a pop song thrown in there every once in a while.
Yeah. So some acoustic guitar, just to get you ready. What has been, if you guys have been club swimmers for a little bit, or even your high school coach might have given you one, what would you think has been your best or favorite swim sets in all your years of swimming?
Oh God. I remember our old club. We would do something called the Saturday morning special.
Yes.
Good one.
And it was rough. It started out with I think 1,000, and then
1,000. Okay.
yeah, we built down. I don't remember if it went by 50 or 100, but we'd go like 950, 900, 850, 800, and all the way down the ladder. But we did that once in a blue moon. But when you walk in that day and the vibes are going to be pretty high whenever he says we have a Saturday morning special.
How many hours does it take to do a Saturday morning? That sounds like, I was a distance swimmer. That sounds actually sort of fun for me. But how long does it take?
I mean, you warm up obviously, and you hop straight into it. No funny business going on there. You just kind of get moving, and then there's not much stopping. You might get a drink of water every now and then, but other than that, it's pretty fast moving. I would say 2.5 hours.
Yeah, do you have one, Zach?
I would just probably your classic like pyramid or ladder set, just going up and down, like any distance. I mean, I'm not particularly very skilled as a distance swimmer, so I like your shorter pyramids, your more sprint based ones, but anything like that I enjoy.
So let's expand on that a little bit. So you guys are both sprinters. What is your mindset? Because there's a lot of things that could go wrong whenever you're on a block. You could slip, you could do your dive could be terrible. Like, so what are you, or your flip turn, you could just, it could just be bad that day. So how do you tell yourself not to have that? Is there something in your head that you have to think about every time you go? Like, what are you thinking?
Well, I wouldn't say my start and my turns are my strongest suit in swimming. I am definitely more of your open water, like get going. That's my best part of my race. But I've consistently worked on it all the way through clubs. So it's kind of just, what to do, what's right. So just like focus and make sure you're doing it. And if you mess up, just roll with the punches. And let's say you mess up your turn. Okay, extend your underwater, do your underwater kicks faster just to make up that time.
Well, I'm the complete opposite of him. The starts are my strong point. My turns used to suck. Like my freshman and sophomore year, I probably can barely make it past the flags without dying of no air. And I trained myself. Not saying my turns are good, but they definitely are a lot better than they were before.
Well, if you were not getting past the flag, they probably are a little bit better now then.
Yeah.
Now, what do you all, because I know I'm a big weirdo about the state meet. I'm probably maybe one of the few people that like oversell it, or maybe I just regularly sell it. I don't know. But I always think the state meet is always like the coolest thing, especially like the parade and The officials when they wore all blue and their coats and the song, and you get to pick a teammate to come out with you. Talk about, what are you most looking forward to at the state meet?
Just getting out there and dropping some good times. Obviously, just being at the state meets an accomplishment by itself. And, hopefully we get a lot of our teammates there as well, whether it be relays or we push them to get some individual spots for states. I don't know, maybe just the accomplishment of, being there.
I would say last year, I personally missed since COVID, I missed the parade and the music and all that part of it, because that's one of your big staples of the state meet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes the state meet different from every other meet.
Yep.
So hoping that maybe that can come back.
I'm pretty sure it is coming back. So unless they swoop in at the last second. So keep going.
And then also it's also a 2-day meet, which we didn't get to do last year because of COVID, but I enjoyed that just because it makes it a little feel a little more special, feel more serious, more important almost. But I would always say my favorite meet ever has been state meet, just because the atmosphere is so different and so diverse.
And I love both pools. I really love the old Morgantown pool. There was something really special about being there. It was just so homey. No offense to the new one. The new one's super nice, but it didn't have the personality and the old one just felt like there was just lots of good memories at the state meet there. Now, talk to me about, are you all friends with the people you swim against? Have you swam with a couple of them? I'm sure everyone's usually friends or knows people that they swim against. Talk about it, a relationship you have with them, or even just a funny story before or after a race with them.
I don't want to speak for both of us, but I don't really think we have any enemies when we swim. We've been on the same club team for over 10 years. We'd race Randy Keener a bunch, Preston Bennett a bunch. They're really good swimmers. Only memory I have against one of them is I was racing the 200 freestyle against Preston when I was 12. And we were walking down towards the blocks and I stepped on a piece of glass right before that race. I just pulled it out, was bleeding, cleaned it up a little bit, and then got smacked around by Preston in that event. But it was all good.
Oh, it's the glass's fault, right? You would have beaten Preston. Yeah, you would have beaten Preston if the glass wasn't in your foot. That's how I understand it.
I would say I agree with Grant. I wouldn't say swimming, you really don't have any enemies. Most people are friendly or friends with each other. You would just talk, mess around before a race, but then once you get behind those blocks, that's when you really lock in. I mean, you'll say good luck and then you swim against each other. Your opponents, you want to beat each other, but I wouldn't say there's any bad blood or anybody that really hates each other. Everyone's friendly. It's just overall swimming's a pretty good community, I would say. Everyone's friendly and nice to each other, supportive.
Now, do you all have any fun, you've already told me one mishap, or either a fun mishap or just a cool hotel story that you could share that your coach won't get mad and make you do 3,000 yards? Is there a fun story that you guys from past meets that you guys could share?
One thing I can really think of was, it's not a savage kind of moment or anything like that, but it was my sophomore year. We swam in the afternoon for prelims, and then they had the combined session for finals. So we had that really short layover, which kind of sucked. I think our only good memory was not only good memory, but one I can think of is we were all just rolling out in the same room, and we had the compression leg sleeves that massage your legs. We were all just taking turns on that, rolling each other out, kind of thing. And that's what makes the swim team and the swim environment so good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything particular or funny. I would just say like, and this is old school, this is old club. But me and him, we've always been good. Like we were always good friends and we always swam together. But our favorite thing to do, especially when we swam at Marshall at meets, there's a old driver game.
Oh God.
And we used to like always play it. And that's like all we would play. We would just sit up there like in between our events and just play that game. And that's what my favorite memories, at least, of like old school swimming.
Excuse me for my phone. I was trying to find a picture of me and Zach when we were like 8, just sitting up there in the bleachers at Marshall playing that game.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it though.
If you find that picture, you need to send it to me, and I will put it underneath the splash cast. I will put that picture up for everyone to see.
All right, I'll find it.
That's what I'll do for both of you. Well, I want to thank you both for coming on. I thought this was a good time. I hope you all thought it was a good time. And I will be up in the corner calling the state meet, I'm pretty sure. So you can sit there and listen to me talk about fingernails and weird turns and all sorts of all those other things. So thank you both. And I look forward to seeing you all at the state meet.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, no.